and then we'll take questions for the student athletes.
To God be the glory who is ahead of our lives. I really am so humbled and grateful for the opportunity to coach this team here at this time of my career. I tell you, these young people, how cool are they? Didn't they just leave it out there? Wasn't it a fun game to watch? It was so wonderful, such a wonderful game to be on ABC. It's like we weren't going to relent, and neither was Tennessee. And the fight was tremendous all the way to the last 7 to 8 minutes in the game. And you know, at the end of the day, that size and really wore us down a little bit. But, you know, these two on my side here were tremendous. But you can't say enough about a Summer Hemphill, who, as small as she is at 6 feet tall, she contested 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", every single possession. And she probably shouldn't have played because her knee was bothering her, but there was nothing I could do to keep that young lady out of the game. And for that, I got to thank her. I got to thank my bigs. I got to thank Dyaisha Fair, and I tell you, it's a lot of great talent on that floor. But I put Dyaisha Fair against anybody in the country, and I mean that with a thought process. She's a special player, and this rookie over here, 3 years, I think we'll be back here soon because these two right here are just an incredible group of people. So for that, I thank Tennessee. I thank NCAA for seeing fit to allow us to be a part of this opportunity. And we are humble, we learned, we grew. We never lose. We either win or we learn. And we won today because these young people showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight, and their story was told in a matter of 40 minutes. And it was great to sit there and witness it.
Thank you, Coach. We'll now open up for questions for student athletes right here in front on the right.
Dyaisha, Ray Burrell was singing your praises. Coach Kelly Harper, too, just one of the toughest players they've gone against. I mean, saying you can get your shot when you want it, and all you can do is hope to force you into some kind of tough shot. I mean, from where I'm sitting, you look like an SEC guard. You could compete at any conference in the country. Just does that give you a little comfort to know that your game was tremendously recognized here?
I mean, if I'm being honest, no. But I appreciate everything. I appreciate all the compliments and all the recognition.
Question right here, and then down in front.
For either of you, even though today wasn't the result you wanted, quite a special season with the MAC championship and where you got to, you know, what has it meant to you to have those accomplishments under your belt this season?
It's meant a lot. It's been a tough year. Like, we've gone through a lot of things as a team, but we just knew we had to tell our story, and to tell our story, we needed to win the MAC championship. We needed to get here, and we didn't get the result we wanted today, but we grew a lot, and just so proud and happy to be a part of this team.
Right here in front.
Teresa Walker, the Associated Press for both Georgia and Dyaisha. The fight, you lead after the first quarter. Georgia, your bucket, you know, bounces in to beat the buzzer. How did it feel there as you were, you know, standing toe to toe until Tennessee kind of took over in those final minutes?
I mean, as I said in the interview before the game, I know this team can compete with any team in the country, and we showed that.
Georgia, Tennessee really defensively really forced your team to opt to the guards. What did they do defensively to take the inside game out of this team and get your inside players in foul trouble?
I mean, they're very tall. She's 6'6", so it was always going to be a challenge for the bigs today, and they gave it everything they had. But yeah, they did really well.
We have a question over here on the left.
Georgia, how do you sum up your first season with Coach Jack?
There's just so much I could say. Like, my first season just was made easy because of Coach Jack. She just put so much trust, so much love, so much passion into our team and into me, and it just gave me the confidence to do anything that I thought I could do, anything that I could do, and I'm just so happy to be a part of this team and play for Coach Jack.
Any more questions for our student athletes? Okay, thank you both. You can go back to the locker room. from your
You can
teammates.
take that if you guys want.
And we'll open up for questions for head coach.
Thank you, guys. Proud of you.
Here on the left, and then over here on the right.
Hey, Coach. You talk a lot. You just mentioned Summer Hemphill and how big she played today, going up against Key, who is 6'6". That Summer played like she was literally 6'6" today. You've talked about how much she meant to that program. She played 40 minutes today, hard and big in the paint. What does she mean to this program for this game tonight, as well as moving as being a senior? But what has she meant these last couple of years?
She bought into the culture from day one, and on a national level. Everyone now witnessing what our culture is. We fight to the finish, and I tell you, they out-rebounded us 55-38. I got to look and see if some of those rebounds could have been ours still. I tell you, she's a kid that understands that the respect isn't given, but you fight until the finish, and it eventually will be earned. This was a perfect example of what transpired in this young person's life for the last 6 years. Been counted out, been disrespected, have been shared that she's not one of the best in our conference. I think that her better days is her latter days. I think that she's going to help a pro team very quickly, because no one can coach what she brings. That toughness, that fight, that Buffalo blue-collar mindset, and the reason why we had such success in my tenure is because Summer Hemphill was with me for 6 years, and I am so I'm so mad that she doesn't get the respect that she deserves, but I'm so humbled that she just keeps taking it on the chin and just keeps saying, Coach, whatever's for me is going to be for me. We're just not going to quit. Love that kid. Love that young lady.
Here on the right.
Maria Cornelius, 247 Sports, Tennessee. Tennessee got the start it wanted. Obviously, the 6-0 start, crowd behind it. You called that timeout and just absolutely flipped the script. What did you convey to your team in that timeout?
Well, it was 8-0 at one point, and I just shared with them, I said, we are right there. We are right there. I said, the next time out, we need to be tied or ahead. Anything else we need to say? No. You don't get emotional with that. You don't bring attention to what they did. You bring attention to what you're supposed to do next. And at the end of that quarter, that 4-minute segment, the score was 8-7 before the timeout was called again. So we got close, but we didn't reach the goal. Players like that and teams like that and the level like that, they're going to get their runs. And I thought that we had one more run in us, and unfortunately, it didn't work out the way we wanted to, and those rebounds, we didn't count on them to be the best free throw shooter in the country. I wish they would have stayed with the statistic of being a poor free throw shooting team, because we needed some kind of luck. But at the end of the day, you got to have fun with this game, and you got to laugh a little bit and make fun. But when you're talking with young people that really going to be future, pros, future nurses, future doctors, future. You don't talk about the problem, you talk about the solution. And I thought they really stood the test of the fans in that first segment and really countered with who they were and who they are as a blue-collar team that fight to the finish.
Over here on the left.
Coach, kind of, I guess, questions/comments, but it seems like Georgia has a really high IQ for how young she is, and it seemed like she was always affecting the play, whether it be tipping passes, stealing and leading, scoring on a fast break, all the threes. Is that something that she's kind of shown throughout the whole year? Have you really helped her kind of grow into that kind of player? And then to kind of follow up, do you feel like there's a lot of jump balls too? And is that something that you really teach your team, is to attack the ball no matter what? Or
Georgia has a very high IQ. This young lady, I tell you, this is a side note. She doesn't play foosball. It's a game that I love, and it's a game I play at my home. And she taught herself how to play foosball and came to my house, and I beat her, but it's a sweat. We're drenched. She doesn't relinquish. Didn't know how to play spades, and her and her buddy from Australia got together, and we played spades, and I don't know that she cheating or IQ. I don't know what's happening, but I know that I struggled to beat her in a game that I taught her. And so, and it goes with the game of basketball. It's a game she's been playing for a very long time, and I think she's grown 2 inches since she's been with us, and she definitely has a very high IQ. And the jump ball thing is it's a loose ball, man. You go face first to go get it. It's about how bad you want it. It's a heart test, and I think that we're used to going after those balls, and I think Tennessee usually are the ones that usually win those contests because they are just a tough team too. But I think that they realize that we wanted it just as much as they did.
Here on the right.
Cora Hall, the Knoxville News Sentinel. The Tennessee players talked about how in the second half they settled in more to finish around the rim. After the first half, they weren't really doing that. They shot 55% overall in the second half. How difficult is it to kind of come back against a team that really feels determined to get those buckets around the rim?
I want to watch the film in that second half and see if we miss a couple travels or if our kids were not fronting the right way or whether what we did wrong because for them to get those shots as quickly and easily as they did, I don't care who we play. We played against some really South Carolina in your league, and we deterred that inside force on multiple times. And for some reason, it seemed like it wasn't the deterrent on our defense. So I really need to watch the film and figure out what that was because I don't think we've done anything different in the first half as we did in the second half. And so in order for me to answer your question, I need to watch a little bit more film.
Question over here on the right.
Felisha, what is the legacy that this year's team is going to leave with the UB basketball program?
There's 3 words: we fight on. And, that's what I put out there in social media from the day one. This team has been so resilient. It's playing in a tournament out in the Bahamas, and first game of the season is against the number 1 team in the country. Then we play Oklahoma, who's in the tournament right now and in the top 15 in the country, and playing all those multiple teams out there and learning lessons and going on a 3-game skid where everybody jumps off the bus and all we had was each other, and they just kept fighting on. They just kept fighting on. They kept figuring out this sisterhood thing where, it's, everybody else fighting, so let's fight each other. We went through that, and the process of growing up right in front of my eyes is just these young ladies just really, I can't say enough about adversity. Everybody has adversity. Everybody did this year. It's just one of those years. But the stick-to-itiveness that these young people had to stay together, to make it a oneness, and not about me. We don't have a go-to player. Dyaisha can score 25 points, but Summer has to get the rebound, and Eddie has to be the motivational talker, and we stick together. And what 3 words that summarize our team is that we fought to the finish, and we fought on.
Ryan Sylvia, Tennessee journalist. There's a sequence towards the end of the game where Tamara Key got an offensive rebound, missed her putback, got her own rebound, and then made it. And it looked like all you could really do was laugh it off. Just how tough is it to deal with Tamari and Tennessee's height advantage?
No, believe me, I wasn't laughing about that. I was laughing about the fact that, I thought we had a good position to have a box out, and I'm not certain if that was clear or not. And so I just think that there's some incredible plays. I think I'm terrible with names. And she was number 2. Was it? Who's tomorrow's number? She played actually with our player over at their previous institution at Troy. And I say now, if she gets a rebound, then that's a laughable moment because there's nothing we can do to stop that kid. That's a rebound juggernaut. And I really have a lot of respect for all of them, actually. But that young lady right there, I don't know what she ended up in rebounding, but I thought she literally jumped over one of my kids. I'm like, Dyaisha, you got to just stand taller or something. But what a great team you guys have. What a great thing you can do is represent this amazing program you have here at Tennessee.
Here on the right.
Felisha, as for the future, there's a job open at Syracuse at your alma mater. Are you interested, or is it too soon to even start thinking about that yet?
This is our team right here, and we're absolutely focused on Buffalo, and we're gonna, get through this season with our team here. I told them it will never be a conversation about any other school until we finish the job here, and we're still not finished. We haven't celebrated here yet, and so I'm here with Buffalo, and Buffalo is my job, and I work for Mark Allnut, and President Tripathi is my president, and that's all we can talk about at this time.
Last question for Coach down here in front.
Coach, when the brackets got announced last Sunday and Buffalo slid into Tennessee, my first thought was, oh, my goodness, what a matchup that's going to be. Kelly was just in here talking about she wasn't comfortable going into this game at all. I mean, she was nervous about it and understood. What have you done there in your time there to make Buffalo such a respected team where even national people were picking this as a possible upset? How did you accomplish that there?
Well, I was allowed to be me. You know, I have a great boss who understands that I'm a fiery person, and my passion is misconstrued as overreactiveness and too much, and some other keywords that people use against my name and my work, my ability to want something that belongs to us. And he's allowed me to be me. He has allowed me to be as authentic as I can be, and these young people fed off of that. And they understand that, you know, defense is our mantra. You just don't want, nobody can come in our home and go up in our attic and take our furniture. No, we're going to stop you at the door, and because that's, to me, is a microcosm of life. And I was allowed to be that. You know, my other previous jobs, it was very questioning. It was always questioned, wondered what if somebody said that. And to be able to be your whole self, I think everybody can become. Same with the young lady that was my point guard, Dominique Camp. You know, I was told by her coaches, she's not a good player and she's not going to be able to be a great player at your institution. Well, every kid has wings. All you got to do is give them permission to flap them, and maybe they'll fly or maybe they fail, but they can become. And I was allowed to be my authentic self at Buffalo. And because of that, first I give God the glory, but I also give Mark Allnut total credit for allowing me to just be this crazy, passionate, apologetic self. Sometimes when I chase officials around the gym, those things got to stop, and I've created that stoppage. But I am so grateful that I work for somebody that allowed me to be me.
Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Thank you so much for all you do for women's basketball.